What up, folks? I'm Alex Pop, and you're watching The Road to LBT14. If you're just joining us, this is a new channel that I'm dedicating to all things Land Before Time, and we are currently getting set for the upcoming The Land Before Time 14 Journey of the Brave. Before I begin this episode, I want to give more subscriber shoutouts to those of you who subscribed since my last video. And here are your numbers. Starting off at number 5. Number 5 is Ensario64. Sniper War 10, you are number 6. Heidi Reed, you are number 7. I don't know if I'm saying this right, but Che Neej Louge, you are number 8. Mr. MLP Reviewer, you are number 9. Mr. Anime Fan 411, you are number 10. Daniel Hall, you are number 11. Film Buff 06, you are number 12. And last but not least, number 13 is, well, I can't really say the name of this user because this is kind of a family show, but I think you know who you are. I'll just say MF666. You are number 13. Thank you all for joining. I'm very glad to have you all here. So in this video, I want to talk about the voice actors of The Land Before Time 14, Journey of the Brave. The trailer that was released on Rotten Tomatoes last week gave us a number of details, including that the movie will feature a guest character voiced by Reba McEntire, of all people, as well as confirmation that Rob Paulsen will return to voice Spike and Annie McCaffey to voice Sarah. What's odd, though, is how this has all been kept secret up until now. In fact, the film's production was unheard of until Ruben Avisha accidentally leaked info of his son Felix as Littlefoot in the movie onto the internet, as well as this photo of Felix with Aria Noel Curzon and Jeff Bennett. And thus the photo also confirmed to us that Curzon and Bennett will be returning to, or rather they were returning to voice Ducky and Petrie. But even after that, it seems the actors were still not allowed to mention the movie. There was a comment on my first video from Pinky997 who said that he asked Annie McCaffey on Twitter if she was going to voice Sarah again in The Land Before Time 14. She replied, "There's a new movie?" However, she added a wink emoticon at the end. This leads me to believe that she and the other actors weren't allowed to reveal anything yet. But still, I wonder, why all the secrecy? Why couldn't they have just announced it when they knew that it was definitely happening, like just about any other big movie in Hollywood right now? I don't get it, but whatever. So, once again, the definite returning actors are Aria Noel Curzon as Ducky, Jeff Bennett as Petrie, Annie McCaffey as Sarah, and Rob Paulsen as Spike. Felix Avisha is now the 9th actor to provide the voice for Littlefoot. Littlefoot's voice actors have been more consistent than any other character in the series, and that's due to his past actors all going through puberty and being unable to fluctuate their voices to fluctuating their vocal pitch to the high voice that Littlefoot has. But it is good to see that the producers are trying to bring back as many actors from the previous installments as they can. Nevertheless, we are still being kept in the dark about the actors for the main adult characters, Grandma and Grandpa Longneck, Sarah's dad, and Littlefoot's dad. Although, if you've kept a close eye on the movie, you may have seen on IMDb that their voice actors have been listed. But I think the cast and crew for a movie can be edited by everyday users before the movie is released. On the list, we have Corey Burton as Sarah's dad, as well as the narrator, Kiefer Sutherland as Bron, that's Littlefoot's dad, Jim Cummings as Grandpa, and Miriam Flynn as Grandma. This could be an official cast, but I'm not convinced yet. However, I can almost guarantee that Miriam Flynn will once again voice Grandma. The ones listed for Sarah's dad and Grandpa, I think, could just be speculation because the original actors, John Ingle and Kenneth Mars, both sadly died before the film was in production. And it's very unfortunate because both of them had seemingly unmatchable voices. I did see lots of rumors saying that Jim Cummings was going to be the one to replace Kenneth Mars, which is very conceivable because he also stood in for Mars as the voice of King Triton in The Little Mermaid, Ariel's beginning. Since viewers seem to think that he did a good job imitating Mars's voice, it makes sense that he be wanted for Littlefoot's grandpa. And I think he'd be a great choice. Jim Cummings is a phenomenal voice actor. Not only has he been the voice of both Winnie the Pooh and Tigger, think about that, but he can imitate just about any voice with precision. For example, in The Lion King, during the song Be Prepared, Jeremy Irons, who voices Scar, threw out his voice after the line, "You wouldn't get a sniff without me." So for the following lines, Jim Cummings took over for him, but you would never be able to tell what difference might be there. The similarity is just uncanny. So if the cast listings on IMDb really are official, then I'm all for Jim Cummings being the voice of Grandpa. As for Corey Burton potentially replacing John Ingle for Sarah's dad and the narrator, I'm not entirely sure what to think because I was unfamiliar with the guy until now. I checked out his IMDb page, and he has an outstanding history of voice acting credits, almost as long as Frank Welker's. But skimming over it, I couldn't really find any animated characters that I remembered. Most of them were just extras, like a brutish guard in The Hunchback of Notre Dame, the Titans in Hercules, and one of the ancestors in Mulan. The only one I found that I particularly remembered was Moliere from Atlantis the Lost Empire, and he has a rather Gollum-like voice. So I really don't know how well he'll pull off the voice of Sarah's dad, but if he's officially cast, then I really hope that he can, because the certain gruffness that John Ingle put into the voice of Sarah's dad is really distinctive. So I really won't have any idea until I see the movie. At any rate, I'm glad that they're not retiring the character because I do think there's a lot more that could be done with Sarah and her dad. So finally, we have Kiefer Sutherland listed to voice Bron, just as he did in The Land Before Time X, The Great Long Neck Migration. Now, the reason that I don't think IMDb officials are the ones posting the cast listings yet is because before Kiefer Sutherland was listed to voice Bron, Cam Clarke was briefly credited with the character. Cam Clarke provided the voice on the TV episode The Big Long Neck Test, in which Bron visited the Great Valley. So despite Sutherland currently being there, I think it could be either. Sutherland's voice is deep, but at the same time really soothing. I loved his cool yet threatening delivery when he played the unseen caller in the movie Phone Booth. So, for the most part, I do hope that the cast listed on IMDb is accurate. The last thing I think there is to talk about is the voice actors for Ruby and Chomper, now that the trailer confirmed to us that they're going to be a part of the new movie. I'm predicting that Megan Strange will once again voice Ruby, because like Aria Noelle Curzon and Andy McAfee, she is an adult who is still able to make her voice sound young. Although I think Ruby is supposed to be a teenager, which probably isn't hard for an adult to imitate. But anyway, I'm pretty sure that Megan Strange will return. But Chomper is a different story. Max Burkholder, his voice actor in the TV series, is now 17 years old. So I think it's safe to say that they're going to need a replacement actor, just like they have been for Littlefoot all these years. Although, um, I thought I thought through many recent big Hollywood movies, and I couldn't really think of anybody who sounds much like Chomper. I imagine they're probably going to get a new child actor whom I likely never heard of before. So again, I'll just wait and see what happens. That's a wrap for now on the road to LBT14. If you love The Land Before Time, then this is the place to be. You can subscribe for future videos. I have a lot planned ahead of now. This is the currently untitled Land Before Time channel, and I'm your host, Alex Pop. Catch you later.